top of the hour, man. You know what it is. That guy Rick coming live and direct.
Live. For the culture.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tamel Cuts, proud owner of Uppercuts Barbershop.
What up, y'all? This is Lonnie Horn, proud owner of World Class Faders and World Class Stylers Barbershop and Salon.
You're watching another episode of For the Culture Podcast, going down every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And like that guy Rick would say, the clubhouse is officially open. Jack.
What up, T?
What up, my guy?
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
And happy Tuesday to my mama, the first one in the clubhouse. And happy belated Mother's Day again.
Happy belated to all the mothers.
Yes, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope y'all had a beautiful weekend. We couldn't have been here without y'all.
Nope.
Did you get that?
We sure couldn't.
We couldn't have been here without y'all.
Well, nowadays you kind of can. You can be a test tube, baby.
You ain't lying.
You test tube, baby.
You see how he just took it away from y'all that quick? This is a cold cat right here. He said happy belated, then just took it back. I had an amazing Mother's Day, and it's still to be continued this week. Yeah, man. So and to all the auntie mamas out there, all of them. There's so many different mama figures, man.
Yes.
So
not the daddy mamas.
You said what now?
The daddy mamas.
The daddy mamas, yes.
Yeah,
no, because we be going hard on the women who be like, well, on Father's Day, they're like, well, it's my day again.
I'm gonna raise this boy. Ain't no man here helping me. I'm doing it. Why they got them talking like that? Why I got them talking like that?
Yeah, because you done heard it before. All right, man. Let's talk about what you got on that body right there, man. What you sporting today?
Let's do it, man. I'm gonna start down here on the breastises. We're rocking that Timeless Barber Shop. This is Timeless Vic. He's a legend out here. He was out here putting out them YouTubes way back in the day. But yeah, this is his apparel. Shout out to him. And then right here, fresh out the mailbox right here, this is Anti-Broke Barbers Club right here.
That's a clean one too.
It's that Raiders, boy. He knows I'm a Raider fan.
Lean close though, because they think that's say Raiders. They think that say Raiders. Look at that though. Yeah, that say Barbers, man. That was dope. Shout out to Anti-Broke, our guy Ray Brotherhood, and the rest of the team.
Yeah, he sent me some stuff for you too. I gotta get it to you as well.
I seen you unboxing. I kind of felt like you a little bit. You know, Tamel been getting jealous if somebody send me something, he don't get it. I was sitting there. Hey, I was out of state too. I'm looking at I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh. I did the Tamel face. Oh. Oh man. All right, man. My apparel of the week, man. I'm gonna start with the crown. I got my guy De La Bay, the one and only Baby Latina, the host and producer of the Golden State Expo. The reason I pulled this one out today is because we was on a mystery hunt for this to match my blue suit when we hosted in San Jose a few weeks ago. I was mad I couldn't find this thing. It's an expensive hat too. So I was like, man, I gotta find that thing. So it's been recovered, so don't nobody gotta worry no more if y'all was worried. And then on the chest, we got Teenage Mutant Barbers, and this is by one and only the Dope Barber brand. We need y'all back at the events, man. A lot of people have been asking when we put these shirts out. A lot of people
you would have thought that, man. I'm telling y'all could have made a guap.
Yeah, Tamel had y'all's
Golden State Barber Expo. Everybody was hitting me up about my shirt. Are they here? Are they here? Are they here?
Yeah, and that's where we got them from usually. Anyhow, you guys, the reason we do this is because we are super blessed. A lot of people give us their brands, and this is their blood, sweat, and tears they put into these things. So rather than us just throwing them in the closet or in some bin, we display them on our platform, and we're very grateful. If you want to send any size larges and you want your apparel sported, you can send it to the address below, and we guarantee you we will wear it, and it'll be on the platform. All right, man. That's our apparel of the week, y'all. And I'm gonna ask my partner to show y'all who we be rocking and rolling with.
I got you, big dog.
The best barbers and shop owners know that aside from customer service, presentation is everything. I mean, look around. If you want to grow long term, you have to show up professional and legit. That's exactly why I started Focal Fuse, to help brands look like industry leaders without the extra BS. Focal Fuse has helped some of the biggest names in the barbering and beauty industry bring their brands and expos to life to feel 100% like them. And availability is limited, but if you know we have to work together, just send a message, we'll have a quick conversation, and I'll take care of the rest. Peace.
Barbers Illustrated Magazine, the #1 magazine built for the craft. Featuring the freshest cuts, top barbers, tool reviews, and real industry stories. Get the magazine your shop should have had yesterday. Print subscriptions just $9.99. Digital subscriptions only $3.99. Single print issues $12.99, and digital single issues $4.99. Tap in today and level up your barbershop game. Barbers Illustrated Magazine, join the movement. Welcome to the world of barbering.
Yes. Everything, all the bills are covered now. We done did our job. Our sponsors has been posted and shared with our public. So anything.
All right, man. What you do last weekend? It was Mother's Day weekend. What you had going on?
I'm glad. So when you first asked that question, I didn't know what I did until you gave me a context clue. It was Mother's Day weekend. So now I can relate it to my wife. So, man, my wife is dope, bro. She didn't want to do nothing. She actually just wanted to go eat, and she wanted to go fishing. And I like to fish.
That's fine.
So we went and hung out. We went fishing. Then we came back here, barbecued some chicken, and just chilled. It was very relaxing. Just very, very cool.
Man, that's nice.
Father's Day coming up. I don't want nothing to do with nobody.
Just leave you alone.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah. Leave me alone. So what you do?
Did you see the Michael Jackson movie?
Oh, yes.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it. Every bit of it. It was too short. But
that
Jafar, that boy,
yeah,
they did an amazing job. For him never to have learned those dance moves down to a T.
Yeah.
And I was living in the past. It just brought back so many memories, so many moments that I was in there just smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
So euphoric.
I think it was you was either smiling or you was crying, because a lot of the theater was crying. I have family members that was crying from the opening, and some of the people at my team at the shop, they went to see it another day. They was like, yeah, man, like the second the movie opened, they was already crying. So some people cried all the way through it. Some people smiled. What do you think about the negative criticism on it from the critics, the movie critics?
I haven't heard much. Everybody I talked to loved it. I haven't read like any Rotten Tomatoes or anything. I know Janet had something that she didn't want to be a part of it, but I mean, it was. I can't wait to see part 2 if they do a part 2.
No, I think that was the whole plan, and you try to squeeze a man's life like that who started singing at age 5, even if you just squeeze the average person's life into a 1.5 hour movie, that's already hard. So somebody like this, oh man, that's bananas. Impossible. So yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a three-part series.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. But I enjoyed it. So some of the critics were saying it was a what they say. One of them said it was a visual jukebox. They was like, man, there wasn't no movie, it wasn't no story, it was a visual jukebox. And then I got defensive at first, and then it was like it was some other comment they made. But anyway, I got it though. Uh, so I was defensive at first, but then I got out of my own mindset and I said, oh no, I get it. I get what they're saying. And then it reminded me of who it was for. Sometimes the movie is for critics. It's for people to look at it and go, oh, that's what happened back when I used to see him on the news. And that's what they was looking for. So the non-fans, but the people that knew of him and was curious, they were disappointed. But it made sense to me now. That movie was for the fans. That was for the people who love him. So for us, it was a treat. We was like, oh, and then I was pissed off at Joe. I said, he told your ass he didn't want to go back out there. And that's why he was wearing it. And people used to make jokes about him wearing wigs. And I used to be like, he ain't wearing no wig. And then when I saw that, I said, oh, this is sad what this dude went through, man. But most of all, I love that he loved his family like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what did I do last weekend, man? I enjoyed my family down in Flagstaff. We were down there for my daughter's college graduation. So shout out to my daughter, Soraya, man. She did her thing. To have your youngest kid graduate and be done with school is an interesting experience. So yeah, that was fun. We all piled in the Airbnb. Got to just really enjoy my family this weekend. And I think we all needed it. We all needed that breakaway, and it was peaceful. So Flagstaff is like Arizona's Tahoe, and it was super, super, super nice. Thank you, Babies in the clubhouse. Congratulate my daughter. I appreciate that. It was fun. It was a nice experience. We went bar hopping with her. That was funny. We got the bar hop with my daughter. That was funny. And I don't drink no more, so it made it even more funny. I'm up in there hype like I'm with it. I know how to really mingle with the drunk people.
Yeah.
So it was fun, man. We had a good time. But yeah, that was then. And then what do we got coming up next, man?
Bro, we just came back from Chicago. Shout out to Booksy and Wall Global Stage. That was an epic event. We've never been to nothing like that. Part of everything like that, which was dope. But now we're headed to Premiere Orlando.
Yeah.
We've been hearing so many things about Premiere Orlando, and now we get to go and participate. We'll be doing our podcast in the Booksy booth, and we're excited. We're excited to see how this turns out. We're all about networking. Networking is our currency. Relationships is our currency. So we like to network with as many people as possible. Because we like to see others grow, and in that process, we grow too. So
yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. Yeah, we get to cross into the beauty industry, which has been one of our goals for a while. So it's gonna be really cool to just grow our platform and actually become more of the bridge. The ones to bridge that gap between them. Before we get into our guest tonight, I want to thank everybody on Instagram as well. Shout out to Harry Money. Appreciate you, man. And whether you're on Instagram or YouTube, we appreciate y'all, man. And we're excited about tonight's interview. And I see the Barber Dollhouse in the building. What up? Booksy fam. Yes.
Yeah, we can't wait to get with her, man. Hang out with our sis again.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. And if any of y'all miss, let me remind y'all, when you come in on live, that's so cool that y'all give us y'all time on live. We're very grateful. People come in, some stay the whole time, some pop in and out. But we always hope that the content that we create and we gather that night is evergreen for you guys. So whether you get it tonight or you get it in the future, we hope it's impactful. But if you're here tonight, we appreciate you, and make sure you throw your questions in the comments so we can, extract as much from that guest to help you along the way with your journey.
We got to have some live giveaways that we only do online.
Oh, he got Tamel feeling Santa Claus is tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Y'all,
oh,
y'all,
oh, yeah. You
y'all
know what I'm
better take
saying?
advantage of that, man. Throw some ideas of what y'all want out there. I see
Yeah.
Maxi
Yeah, we ain't got
Blizzy.
no money, so don't ask for no daggone money. We get free hugs and high fives and good job.
Shout out to Max Blizz, man. Appreciate you being in there, man. We're about to have some fun tonight, man. Go ahead and get me ready, buddy. Go ahead and get
Got
me
you, my guy.
ready.
Got you.
Tonight's guest, man, is an award-winning barber, bevel educator. Y'all heard that? Bevel. I'm talking about the knives, part. Yeah, that bevel. TV and film industry professional. Can't wait to dig into that a little bit. And one of Atlanta's rising voices in modern barber culture. With over 15 years in the game, y'all, it feels like more than 15, to be honest.
Yeah,
Just the
dude.
impact this person has. But with over 15 years in the game, has built a reputation through consistency. I've witnessed that myself. Professionalism and growth. Proving that barbering can open doors far beyond the shop. Far beyond the shop. Tonight's conversation is all about evolution, mindset, and why so many barbers are avoiding the next level. And to talk about that, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. She didn't only do all of that. She also was a special guest at our For the Culture Hair Jam just this year, y'all. Flew all the way out here to Sacramento to be with her Barber brothers, man. So with no further delay, we are so honored, so proud to bring to the screen the one and only Lauren the Legend.
Hey.
Look
No,
at that.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, man,
What's
you
up,
welcome.
y'all?
What's
Man,
up, fam?
What's going on?
I know. We're so glad to have you, man. One thing I didn't warn you about, and Tamel didn't warn you about either, is we call this an interview, but it's really a conversation. We build these relationships, but they're just in pieces. They're incomplete. We get to see each other real quick, then we're moving, then we see each other online. So we look at this more like a conversation to like further that relationship, just sit down and get a little deeper. So one thing we don't know with Lauren the Legend is why barbering.
Oh man. That's a great question. One, I just think barbering gotta find you. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Like it's barbering's weird because it's like either you running from something or it's gonna come to you. But no, I was like 15 getting in trouble and my uncle kind of seen where I was headed and he was like, yeah, this is what you're gonna do, so just come over here and cut my hair. And he was just kind of annoying about it and would never let me just breathe. So that turned into like, then I started looking forward to, cutting them and lining them up, and it just kind of took off from there. But even once I think, yeah, I was 15. Once I turned 18, I didn't go straight into barber college. I was like kind of chilling, and I went to barber school at 22, and it was up from there. So yeah, that was cool.
And we're not going to dig into it too deep, but we know
Mhm.
this diplomatic, uh, you know, proud to be a real good businesswoman in this industry type of person. You move with integrity, a lot of intelligence. But you said the road you were going down. What was that road you were going down?
Oh man, I got arrested and
Before
I got
15?
Damn.
expelled at 15. I got arrested and then I went and got a tattoo and then I got expelled and then
What was you
yeah, it
what,
was
what were you doing out there getting arrested?
yeah,
What were you doing?
it
Remember
was
you said you open book. Let's
I
open
was
that book and
doing the
Says you're
wrong
open book.
things. Look. But no, real talk. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, especially at 15. And living in East Oakland and
Mm,
catching BART every day and going to school and stuff like that. And it was like, nah, you gotta go back to SoCal with all that. So my uncle came and picked me up, drove me back to Southern California, and then I finished school out there. But like I said, he just kind of seen it. Him being a barber himself, he used to work, in a two-man shop with him and my great grandfather. So I am a third generation barber, and
Oh,
he was able to just kind of see, like I said, see where I was headed, and just took heed to that, and really put the clippers in my hand and then he ended up giving me those clippers, you know what I mean? And it was just like, oh man, I appreciate that. So I still have those clippers to this day. I don't use them, you know, shout out to Bevel, but you know, I still got
Yeah.
those clippers to
I
this
was
day.
gonna ask
So.
her what brand was it? She's slick. She's like,
No,
yeah. I mean, I don't use them,
I don't
Oh,
use
but
use
them,
them.
but
she's like, you
You
ain't
want to
messing
see
with
them?
my
Nah, I
money.
can't show you.
but yeah, you know, so but it was like I said, it was awesome, man. I wish that I would have made that decision, you know, prior to, you know, my grandfather transitioning and just for him to see me now, you know, that would have been amazing. But the fact that, you know, my uncle would get to see me, I actually brought him to the Barbers Jam. I believe I did introduce him to both of y'all,
Yeah,
and that was
yeah.
just amazing.
Hey,
He had a
Hey,
blast.
I
He
didn't
was
know. Look,
smiling.
I wish
hey.
we had known that
He was
history
a
though.
barber. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
We'd
just
have gave
thinking
him some free
you,
stuff.
yeah, I'm thinking she just
Look,
introducing them to like, hey, this
Oh
is the
well,
barber
my bad.
world.
I was supposed to say all that like in a minute. Yeah, this is the one
yeah,
that put the
hey,
clippers in
my
my
uncle,
hand.
he's a
Well, he
You're
a
barber.
right.
barber. He's a
Yeah,
barber.
he's
Just
a barber.
You're absolutely right, and
what's his
I
name?
embrace
What's his
that.
name again?
Kevin, Kevin,
Shout
my
out
uncle
to
Kevin.
Kevin,
So
man.
yeah,
And he
man.
still cuts in Oakland.
No, 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 no. He actually live in Sacramento, so no, he don't cut no more. He do IT. So yeah, he done.
Nice.
He was like, I got to figure something else out. You know, he had kids, so
Gotcha.
he took a different route. But yeah, no, I just I never knew just from that day, you know, like I said, that he put those clippers in my hand that it was gonna turn into this. So it was a blessing. It's been a blessing. I'm forever grateful that he actually did that because had he not, I don't know where I would be. So
Let's
Barbara
talk.
saved my life.
Let's talk about turning out like this. This didn't just start from nothing. You didn't blink and had this success. You had to go
Mm.
through some things. Being a female barber in this industry, especially at that time, 15 years ago, or even not even more recent than that. If it was 10 years ago, it's still female barbers are trying to make their way in the industry now. It's more prominent. You see it more often. You see them in educating roles and brand ambassadors. How was it being a female barber and to get to when you got good at it that you was being able to charge more than what the male barbers was charging?
Oh man, I just think that, you know, the shop that I was in, well, prior to the shop that I was in, you know, barber school, like you gotta sharpen that tool in there, you know what I mean? And luckily I had a little experience, of course, you know, being trained by already a master barber who was showing me how to fade and do all these things at 15, 16 years old. Once I went to school though, you know, just you know, you lean on your classmates and your peers
Yeah.
in the school, and there was a woman in there, and I thought she was an instructor the whole time she was a student, and she was from Germany, and she just needed her license in the States, but you know, Essence was she was probably one of the best barbers that I ever seen, and you
Mm.
know, her showing me like this is how you do this, and I remember this was like what 2010, so I remember her you remember the posters that they had in barber
Oh
school,
yeah.
like the
Oh
old
yeah.
school, like the pompadours and
Oh
all the
yeah.
stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I want to learn how to do that. And she was like, you'll never need to know how to do that. And I was like, history repeats itself, like it's only so many
Mm-mm.
haircuts we can do. And she
Smart.
thought about that, and she was like, you're right. I'll teach you. And everybody else, you know, it was a couple cats that was in there, and it was like, I'm going straight to the hood. I don't need to know how to do none of that. And it was just like that right there. It was like you have to be versatile, and you have to know how to cut, you know, everything and everybody who come in, and you this is where you really need to learn. And I think from that day forward, it took me to a different level even then. So coming out of there, barber school and coming out of barber college and stuff, um, yeah, I got in a shop, and even in that shop, you know, I think it was like 15 for a cut, like 10 with your face, or 20 with your face, and like 10 for kids. I think we had like a little kid day, like Tuesdays or something like that.
Hmm.
And you know, you just keep practicing your skills. I think once I realized like my demand was high, um, and then a couple other cats who ended up coming in the shop, you know, shout out to Tom, shout out to Speed. It was just us three that was in the back of the shop, and then we just kind of clicked up and we was like, nah, this is what we're gonna charge. And I think having that support is what helped me, feel comfortable with going to the next level, even just in that shop. And it was like, I'm a charge 30 because my demand was so high. I thought that 30 was going to slow it down and I wouldn't be so overly, backed up. But it did and it didn't. It didn't really discourage a lot of people. I think people was just willing to pay for quality. And I think that's something that I learned very early with being in that shop with, certain barbers and individuals.
Let's talk about this growth thing right here.
Mm.
If uh-oh. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Before we get too far away from it. You know, we witnessed something recently with a good friend of ours. And he knows our whole journey. But
Mm.
he had the nerve to tell me and Tamil that, well, it's because y'all are the United Barbers Club. And I gotta be honest with you, I was a little taken back by that. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, we're two regular guys just like you, and he sees the ups, he sees the downs. The reason I like to bring that up is because it's it's a very common thing for people to look at where you are now and
Mhm.
judge you and say, well, it's because you're Lauren the Legend and you do movie stars and athletes and you with Bevel. But you didn't just wake up and you were with Bevel. You didn't just come out of barber school and you were just doing
Right.
athletes and on movie sets. You were cutting in Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so you took a leap. So I
Mm.
want to talk about that leap because there's leaps that a lot of us are scared to take. And it might not be moving to a different state. It might be sometimes it's going to a shop. I got
Mm.
a two barbers at my shop. They watched our shop for 3 years and was scared to come apply because they felt like they weren't on the level. It was an honor, but it just reminds me of how much people are in their heads. So share a little bit about that being here in Sacramento and what it took for you to take that leap and go to Atlanta.
Man, like even prior to that, just being in Sacramento, I had to take a leap within Sacramento. And, one of the first things I think in barbering that coming out of barbering, my uncle taught me, which was taught to him, was you don't want to move around so much. And,
Mm,
very old school, very much so real because this is prior to social media. So if you're doing all this movement and you're not getting everybody's contact, then how are people going to find you if they're accustomed to seeing you in this shop?
mm.
How that go once you leave a shop, like they might not be like, oh yeah, she went to, or
Yeah.
he went
Oh
to,
no. No.
he went to brother's place. Like they ain't saying all that. So you know what
It's
I mean?
rare.
So it's like I think that was instilled in me really early. I stayed at the first shop. I was at Clean Up Nice. That was on Florin and you know, Florin,
We call it
50/50
flooring and Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man, but no, I stayed there for like
World Star.
it was World Star, man. I got some World Stars in my phone. But I tell people that too. Like I was like, bro, that was at one point that was voted like the worst Walmart in the nation. Like, do you know how many Walmarts are in the nation? So that should tell you like just what it was. But real talk, I swear, like that's
No,
not even funny.
I
Like,
was there. I seen
yeah,
about I seen something real top
yeah.
level, high level
High
ratchet
level
go down.
ratchet. You are not lying. I done seen it all. So but even within there, and I was just like, yeah, something gotta change. And I decided to leave there. I think I was there for like 4 years and I decided to leave. And then I went to Natomas.
Oh,
And
I didn't know
if
that.
yeah, I went from South Sac to Natomas and I built out like a little suite that was in a salon there, and I
Mm.
painted it and I did all the things, and then it was kind of slow there. I stayed there for like 3 months, and then I ended up going to another shop that was downtown off J Street, and because that was like a halfway point, then people felt a little more comfortable. But coming from South Side, that my type of clientele, they was kind of like, I had some D boys and stuff. They was like, I ain't coming downtown. Like it's hot over there.
Mm.
So then I was like, okay, well, had I just came here first, maybe I would have made it. But at this point, like I'm struggling a little bit. So I ended up going back to Florida. And I think I went back there for like 6 months. And then I made the decision, like, Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make this move to Atlanta because I knew what to do and what not to do. And all this happened around the same time too that, JC the barber ended up reaching out and he was doing his tour. If I can do it, you can do it too. And he put me on a tour and I learned so much just even with the topic that he assigned to me. I had to do my research on it. And I'm up here talking about it like this is what I'm actually doing, which is finances. And I was like, bro, I'm not doing none of this. So I applied it and I was like,
Mm,
yeah, and if I work like this 100 days, I save $100 a day. I could have 10 grand, I could move. And that's exactly what I did. So I
damn.
think from that day, I think the date was like February 28th. March 1st came. I hit the ground running March 1st. That was my goal, was to save $100 a day. June 5th was going to be my last day. By June 5th, I had that 10K. So then I start putting that into motion. Then I made the decision to leave. But ultimately, like the first leap of faith, like I said, came from within the city. And even with taking that, it was scary. Like I'm leaving my clientele, which is like I said, just on the other side of town,
Yep.
and I had to go through those growing pains. So I already had like a familiar taste with what I was gonna go through, somewhat what I was gonna go through from a business perspective, not from a personal perspective. Like from a personal, once I made that move here, I want to say that was literally probably the hardest thing that I ever did because I have no family that's here. And, I have a lot of family that's in SAC. And yeah, moving across country, like that was different. It was like business wise, I could handle that. But from a personal, yeah, I was struggling. And a lot of people don't see that part. They don't see
Oh
the
no.
struggle. Like,
Oh no.
you know, I reached out to Hawk. Me and Hawk was following each other on Instagram, and he said he'd save a spot for me. I came out here July and started July 25th in the shop. And it
So
was a
you
brand new
tell people
shop.
who Hawk is. For people that don't know, who is Hawk to Atlanta?
Man, if you don't know Hawk, the barber prodigy, look, that was his first name. But no,
Yeah.
but nah, man, that's Hawk the barber. Man, he definitely was voted, world's greatest barber. I will stand and contest to that. That is the world's greatest barber right there. That is my brother. And like I said, we just built a genuine connection just off of IG, me being a actual fan of his prior to me moving and seeing like the designs and stuff he was doing back then. Like, I'm gonna recreate this, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
tag him. And then like he liked it and we started, off that. And it was like I said, that's my brother to this day. I will pick up the phone and call him at any given time.
Nice.
So that's love. But I remember like I got to like my third month and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm done. I gotta go back home because this is hard. Like
Just emotionally, psychologically, like okay.
everything because one, his shop was new. He just opened up his shop like May of 2016. I came July. It
Oh,
wasn't no
you
foot
talking
traffic.
financially then? Got you.
Yeah, so I was like, financially, it was taxing. Granted, he was working with me, but it was just like my money's running low. Um, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
really know this person, but he's rocking with me. I appreciate that, and it's just like, but I miss my family. If you, like I said, you guys just seen, I brought not only my uncle, my two cousins was with me too when they came,
Right.
and in fact, like I would pull up on my uncles every day, and I
Mm.
have four uncles, but three of them live in Sacramento, so I would be able to pull up family dinner. Like it didn't matter. Like I had my own place, but I was always stopping over here or stopping at my grandma's house and seeing my grandpa out and about. And it was just I always had that family community. And moving here, it was a little difficult. But my third month, man, I pulled Hawk outside. I was like,
We got to
I
talk.
can't do this, man. I was bawling and like
Oh.
he just held me and I was like, I'm messing up your shirt. And he was like, it's okay. And I swear it was like the biggest thing. I was like, I'm sorry, but
Wow.
I gotta go. And I think I came back I went back to SAC. It was around the holidays too. So I went
Yeah.
back for like a week and a half and I was like, nah, this ain't it. Like I gotta go back.
That was the confirmation right there.
That was the confirmation. Like I was like, yeah, this is cool, but this is not where I'm supposed to be. And I came back to Atlanta and it was up ever since. But I think that's what taking a leap of faith is. You know what I mean? It's literally a test of your faith, and it's literally saying like you gonna trust in God that everything like that God got you. And once I really had to say, this is it, like it's all in your hands, like everything just kind of went up, everything that I prayed for. So
Let me back you up a little bit. I'm gonna back you up a little bit if you don't mind. Hawk seen your work and you was posting. Not only that, you was competing. What pushed you out there to compete? A lot of people are afraid of competing or just saying that I don't need to prove myself to nobody. I know what I could do. What pushed you out there?
Because it's not about you proving yourself to anybody. It's about you proving yourself to you. You know
Come
what I
on.
mean? Like when you up there competing, it's you versus you, and that's in life. This is you versus you in life.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are afraid to take that next step because they're afraid of what if I fail. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's not about nobody else. You taking a step, you already won. And I went to my first barber show, and that's when, like I said, I met JC. But then after that, that's when it kind of clicked for me because before that, I was just cutting hair,
Mm.
and I didn't see like barbering was the hobby, and I didn't want to make it my career because I didn't want to lose the love that I have for it. And I was like, you know what they say, like once you turn it into, you know, your career,
Yeah,
like it's
you ain't gonna
downhill.
make it. Yeah.
And I fell victim to the propaganda. And once I went to my first hair show and I seen everything that there was to see as far as like seeing all the barbers on stage and the educators, and I'm like, yo, what is this? And I was kind of late to Instagram a little bit. So now I'm like, people got brand deals. They paying them to come out here and be on the stage. Like that's cool. I want to do that. You know what I mean? And then the very first all women's barber battle happened, shout out to Carrie RP, and she was reaching out to get every woman that was near and dear and close enough that she felt like was, dope, and inviting them
Yeah.
out to do the battles. And I did the fastest fade. I placed second in my very first competition, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I'm good enough to place. And I always kind of second guessed myself when it came to my haircuts at that time. But that's when I was like, oh, okay. So I think I entered in like everything local. I think I entered in like 5 and I placed in 3 out of the 5. And then I got called to do the seminar. And like I said, it was just like, okay, people see value in me. I had to be the one to see the value in me too.
I think it's pretty cool that you went to the battle and you seen it like I seen it. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is
Yeah,
what part of barbering is this? Like I was so juiced
I
just
was
to see
blown
it, like
away.
you said, see us on stage, see it, all the different cultures of barbering. There's
Hmm.
the urban barber, there's the hipster barber, and you got the fly guy. I mean, I was amazed in there, and I was
I'm a
so juiced.
I'm gonna tell you too. I think it was like Bay Area's first barber battle at that.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I want to say, I just remember like Tracks a Million and them being there. I was like, what the hell? But anyway, like it was just a whole bunch of vendors and a whole bunch of people cutting, and it was really, really, really dope. I linked up with some barbers that was in SAC. We wasn't even working together, and we was just like, yeah, let's piece up and let's drive out here and let's make it a thing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
And
that's
dope.
dope.
I linked up with Paris, and I linked up with Jay.
Shout out to P
Yeah, P
More.
More. Yeah, I linked up with them, and
Wait a minute.
I
So
think
Paris went with you to the battle?
to the very first battle. Yeah, we all went to our very first battle together.
Get out of here,
That's
man.
something.
That's
Yep, me.
fire,
And you
man.
just be hopping in the cars with people though. You got to
I,
stop that.
that's
Cause
what
you
I
hopped in
was
the car with
Hey,
us.
doing.
hey,
We was
That's
you
in
what
know,
I.
Vegas and we in the car. Hey.
one thing I gotta say about you, Lauren, is I like that you put a good name on the barber events.
Mhm.
I'm real protective of them because I feel like it's changed my life, you know. So I'm real protective of them. I'm like, maybe it's not for everybody. I'm not trying to sell it to everybody, but I'm like, but if it's not your thing, I try to get them to like, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, just shut up.
Yeah, don't say
No, man, but that's
Because
the
it's
thing though. It's for the barber show is for everybody.
and I believe that. I believe that. So let me tell you, when I was so excited that when I come back to the shop, I couldn't stop telling everybody how you need it. It's for you. It's for you. It's for you. But when I say it's not for everybody, there's some people that are just not going to allow me to entice them about it.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, if you ain't gonna do it, don't try to make how they say misery loves company.
Yeah.
We always had that one or two that's like, oh, all y'all went, all them, everybody wearing shades and everybody, high siding on each other. I'm like, no, it's not, man.
Oh
No,
no,
it's not.
it was not that. Especially this was like 2014, and then the next one, then what Western Barber Conference pops up, and
Oh
then
yeah.
Jay Razor and Boo is
Yeah,
throwing that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm there with it, and it was just so much love. Like I see them, and it's just like a reunion. But like I said, it's just me going, we all started that together and started that journey together, and then we all met each other, together and at the same times, and being in those communities that now I can, like I said, reach out and call everybody and be like, yeah, that's my brother right there. So had we not all went to that first, major Bay Area barber battle, I think that's what it was called, and after that, we was like, oh yeah, we going to everything local, and that was a little proof. So it was like me, P, J, um, Speed, and Tom, and we would just jump in the car and we would
That's
dip out.
fire.
So
I
yeah,
didn't. I'm over here working with this cat. I don't even know this story right here. And
who P?
yeah, and I can't wait to tomorrow when I see him. And you did something real special for me, and I want to tell you why it was a big deal. Because so your first one was the Bay Area. Tamel
Mhm.
had already went to one before I gone, and then he was like, "Yeah, you got to go see this." So he take me out to Modesto to our guy Cuz by Vic. We call Vic the DJ Khaled of barbering. That
Yeah.
boy, he'd be like, "Another
Another
one,
one.
another
Another
one."
one. We just
Hey,
had one last weekend, another
that's
one next week.
another one.
Mhm.
Hey, he run them back to it. Ain't no holiday he missed. Cinco de Mayo, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day,
That boy got a
New
battle
Year.
for
Like
everything.
he St. Patrick's battle. Like it don't matter.
It
He
don't
throwing
matter.
the battle. But when Tamel took me, I was like you. I was like, I know barbering for what I know it for. And man, Lauren, when I walked in there, oh man, I just felt like I felt like a kid. And I was
Mhm.
so juiced. I'm just walking around staring at everybody. Diego was on stage.
Mhm.
Who would ever thought later me and Tia be in Vegas chilling with Diego, eating lunch, talking. But I was
Mhm.
like, I was just so amazed, right? So I was like, the way I thought about it was I have a promoter mentality. So I was like, man, we gotta bring something like this to SAC because
Yeah.
I never heard of it. So that was when we started throwing our events. I I didn't get to compete first. I
Yeah.
got to we threw them,
Yeah.
and 360 Jeezy showed up at our show. JT the Barber showed up at our show. JC was at our show. Blenzino was at our show.
Shout out to
And
Blenzino, man.
man,
That's my dog.
boy, I get emotional talking about Blenzy. I love that
That's
boy.
my dog,
Come
man.
on.
That's
So
my dog.
so just imagine my angle where I didn't get to experience it that way. It's like you opening a club before you go clubbing and you didn't really get the club. So
Yeah.
now I'm enjoying watching all these barbers. I'm seeing the older ones, the younger ones. I'm like, this is fire. I wish I could do that. And then it started dawning on me like, damn, you're throwing battles you never even competed. It's like
Mhm.
owning a shop, but you never cut. It's a different texture. And I
Yeah.
said, man, I got to do it. And I start hearing all the barbers, man, that's for the younger barbers. I'm like, why do we do that, man? I'm like,
Mhm.
who cares? And I got in my first battle. And
In Dallas.
y'all, I got on in Dallas, right? I didn't get
Oh,
into the
was I there
local
for
show.
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lauren, big sister me through the whole thing. She was like this.
Yeah, back then.
If I was talking too much, doing stuff, she's like,
Mm-mm.
dial in. There was a couple of times, shout out to Brandy. Brandy know what I'm talking about. It was a couple of times I was, me and T, we social. We over here having a good time. Lauren walked by, she like,
Yeah.
you should be focused in right
Locked
now.
in, bro.
Hey, but I just want to thank you because you forever a part of my history because I got up there and did it. And I beat myself up because I'm like, man, if I just listened to her, I would have actually placed. But you just gave me so many good tips to help me understand the mentality behind competing. There's so much to preparing to compete now, man. So you're a part of my history, Lauren. I
Oh
appreciate that.
man, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that I can be a part of your history because I know like that. Ooh, when you battling, it's a different level that you gotta lock into. And I was just trying to tell you, like, hey, bro,
You didn't tell me about
later.
you didn't tell me about the handshaking part. Look, hold on.
I'm like, hey, man, focus, man. Like,
Look, hey, I do this every day. Every day. Let's just treat these like some liners, okay? I do this every day. Why was my hand like this?
because
And I was
when
pecking at Rich's
timer
head,
go
boy. I was
off,
Yeah.
when that timer go off, it's
the
the
nerves.
pressure. The pressure is like, no, this is real. You know what I mean? And 15 minutes can go by really quick, and especially if that's something that you're not practicing on a daily. Like we're not practicing to cut hair in 15 minutes. So now
No.
that turns into something different. And I think because I got called out in my first battle, that made me like, oh well, damn, like let me lock in. Like let me at least try to, and we started like I only had a week to prepare. Like for that week, I think we timed it, like, come on, let's do it, and boom. But yeah, I'm doing this on kids, so and I'm like a kid's head is only like this big. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but trust me, I know what that nerves kick in like once that timer go off because everybody does that. And it's like the first tremble, and then once you get that out the way,
Yeah.
then you
You're
breathe a
good.
little bit, then you're good. And that's why I was telling them like you gotta focus, you gotta lock in because once they say go, I already knew that I knew it was coming because everybody
Man.
does it.
She
Everybody
told
does
me,
it.
Everybody does it.
she was like, you need to lock in. And then I got up there. My uncle was he lived down in Houston. He was out in the audience like, nephew. And I was like, and she was like, boy, you need to be on stage, boy, in this cut. Don't worry about none of that. That was one of them things where I got everything that you were saying in hindsight. So I can't wait to compete again. So whenever I do place, I promise you, I'm a like really, really it's gonna be an honor of you because you gave me the mindset that like it takes to prepare. And then now again, we throw these battles all the time. So now I'm looking at these dudes, man, they be coming up there. They're in the parking lot getting a model ready. I'm just like, yeah, Rich, meet me at the stage, Rich. And I'm like, yeah, I done cut Rich
You tripping.
meet me at the stage, man. I know Rich here.
You gotta prep. You be like,
You
man,
do.
like you
do.
gotta go in there and you have to just execute whatever it is that you already see. You gotta execute. I remember one time I was like, yeah, and like my cousin had a flat top. I was like, I'm gonna do a Gumby. And sure enough, like I started doing it and I psyched myself out and then I ended up cutting it off.
Oh.
Had I stuck to my original plan though, I think I would have took first. I ended up taking second. But still, it was like you gotta go in there, you gotta know what you're doing, and you just gotta execute. So
Yeah.
everything else has to become just the background. And that's why I was like, once you get into that zone, you unstoppable. So
Yeah.
just
I
go in
appreciate
there and
that.
yeah, of
I was
course.
treating it
Of
like an
course.
extracurricular thing. I was like, when me and T hanging out doing what we do, Barbers Club. Oh yeah, in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna be on
Barber back.
stage competing.
He was lounging. I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna be right there front and center. I stood up.
He probably cutting the lemons and putting them in his cup while he should have been up
And I
there
did, I was
drinking
like,
his.
Hey, I'll never
Okay.
forget Lauren's faces, man. It's classic. She did drive-bys on me though. Like I'll be in
it
deep
did.
I'm over here talking and I just feel her coming by. She like,
Oh, you got to, man. Like
Right.
that's what it is. I jumped out here when I first came out here, and I think the first show I went to out here, I just jumped into the cut. And I was just like gonna throw my name out there and stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't even have a kit. Brandy is in this chat and she will tell you. She was like, go get my kit. And I was like, okay, cool, where is it? She was like, it's behind the table. I just grabbed somebody's random kit. She was like, that is not my stuff. This kit didn't have no guards in it. Like,
Oh,
I was just there cutting.
Whoa.
But even with that, it was like I showed up unprepared. I wasn't, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
doing stuff like that, that's how you get embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it was like, damn, like, okay, even though I still did a decent cut with no guards, like no nothing, I wouldn't have been in that situation had I really sat
Prepared.
down and thought about like and prepared for it. So
take it
you have to,
serious.
yeah, you got to prepare for the battle, man. So that's it. But I look forward to seeing your next one. I promise you, I ain't gonna hit you with no drive by.
No, no,
Well, he needs that.
I
He needs
wanted it.
that.
I
He likes
appreciated
that.
it. I think you'll be proud of me at the next one because you won't need to. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that
I
boy,
was proud of you
he's
at the
so
last
locked
one
in." Thank
because
you,
a
thank you.
lot of people don't take that initiative to even getting up there and doing it, and it
Yeah,
takes so much that for you to even get up there and do it. Like me being, I'm a former athlete. Like high school, I did all the sports, college, blah blah blah. But I'm like Willie Beeman too. Like I get all the nerves. Like I might have to go outside right quick.
you gotta go let
I
it out.
might have to throw up. You know what I mean? Like I get nervous before I do anything because I always want to put my best foot forward. And it's
Gotcha.
like you have to really prepare for these moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like any moments, any milestones in your life, you have to really buckle down and prepare for that. So yeah,
That's a
man,
good
that's
segue to where I want to go anyway. So you left Sacramento, you went to Atlanta, you got teamed up with Hawk. You wasn't sure if it was going to work out. You left, came back, but here you are today.
mm-hmm.
You are a Bevel educator, ambassador.
Yeah.
You are on NBA Live, cutting some of the biggest names in the industry in the NBA. You also are on set, cutting actors and stuff. That talking about growth, talking about somebody that wasn't sure what their plan was going to work out. It not only worked out, but it excelled probably your own expectations. Not sure, but
Definitely.
that's amazing to see that you didn't give up with all the obstacles that you were facing. Because we're just talking about where you are, the good stuff about it. There had to be
Mhm.
some trials and tribulations that really hit you to where, man, I want to stop, or maybe this ain't it for me. But look what you did,
Mhm.
persevering through that. Let's talk about your connection with Bevel. How'd you get that, or what was your first main big connection to tie you into the NBA?
Okay. My first main big connection in Atlanta came from um one of the barbers that was in the shop. He was working on set and some of his clientele he couldn't get to, even in the shop that we was in, it wasn't just like Hawk, it was like Hawk, Tariq, Q the barber. Like it was some heavy hitters, Randy Cuts was in there. We had some real heavy hitters in there. And like I said, he was working on set and he was like, hey, this is such and such manager. I need you, could you take care of him? And then that turned into, now I was kind of in the rap scene and in the studios and going to the studios and doing the haircuts then. And that's when I was like, yo, this is cool. I can definitely see this until it wasn't cool. And then I was like, okay, the music industry, ah, I don't know if that's for me because, the musicians, they be on their own little time, when they are creative and they're doing all their things, like you gonna be on their time. And I think I had got a call like at 1:30 in the morning and it's like that was the sacrifice. Like, do you want to, stop what you're doing and or wake up out your sleep like and go and get
Yeah.
this money, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have no choice. Like I was like, right now, yeah, okay, well, cool. And now I'm cutting to like 5 and 6 in the morning, so it's
Mm.
like, that was, it was definitely amazing. It was a blessing because like I love music and now I get to hear all these songs unreleased. I get to have a little bit of an opinion and some input, and that was just awesome. But then I was just like, I am not built for the late nights and the wee hours of the morning piece. So that was that. I'm like, hey, I still got y'all, but I need it just a little bit earlier. So that was cool. And then I ended up cutting, same guy. I ended up cutting the assistant coach for the Hawks. And at the time, you know, shout out to Charles Lee because now he's the head coach
Hey guys.
of Charlotte. So, shout out to him. I'm really extremely proud of him. But yeah, I started cutting him, and it was crazy because at that moment, like he called me in for like he needed a cut for it was like a Sunday. And I was like, okay, cool, for sure. So I came into the shop Sunday and it was only one other barber in there. He was cutting, a kid. And the conversation that we was having was just so happened to be like me saying, I don't know who anybody is. Like, so it's hard for me to kind of get starstruck because I can't never recognize nobody like off the bat. You know what I mean? And like I had him lean back, I had the hot towel on him. I was like this guy coming in. I was like, he's pretty tall, but he looked like OG. I was like, maybe he played, I don't know. And I took the towel off of him. He was like, girl, that's Steve Smith. I was like, who? So he's thinking I'm playing. I'm thinking he's joking. And we just both kind of like, all right. So we keep cutting. And then like he gets up and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna see you. He's backpedaling to Steve. And then he gets to him and he like introduces himself, and Steve seen his cut and was like, are you available? And then that's how that happened, just organically, like him being in the shop. And we was able to build a organic, amazing relationship. From there, I became his official barber, and then he brought me in to NBA TV. And then I started cutting everybody at NBA TV and just being
Wow.
consistent and showing up and always being available, but like I said, overall being consistent. That's how I became the official barber for NBA TV. And just word of mouth is still going to be your best seller. Like you can do all the promotions and all the stuff like that, but especially when it comes to like higher end celebrities and stuff, they're definitely going to look for the referral too. Like it's one thing
Yeah.
if I this one of my favorite quotes, I kid you not. And it's like, you know what they say, like, it's not what you know, but it's who you
It's who
know.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not who you know. It's who knows you. Because it's one
Mm.
thing that I could know who you are, but it's another thing for them to know who I am.
I
And with
love
Okay.
that
that.
being said, like I was
I
able
love
to
that.
once I started thinking like that, like, cool, it's one thing if you know who Shaq is. It's another thing for Shaq to know me
Yeah.
and for him to call on me and for him to have my number. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. And once I started thinking like that, it really changed how I started to move and my trajectory.
Let me ask you
So,
this. Did you put that unit on him or did you just cut it?
which
You talk
unit?
about for Shaq for
Which
that
one?
commercial. Oh, he had a couple of them?
He has a lot of units. Yeah, he always doing something. You talking about the one?
Okay. It was one of those commercials that I seen.
He
I
had a
seen. I
flat
think.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. That was like one of my first commercials that I did, and then that's how I started getting into the TV space. Once I did that, then I did another commercial with another flat top for like Bleacher Report with Grant, and then it just started. Now I'm in the TV and like the commercial side, and then got a good referral. Somebody moved out here from LA, and
Yes.
shout out to Paris, my homegirl Paris in LA, and
Yeah.
she referred me to one of her clients who moved here, and then he started working at the studios, and from there now I work on films and movies and
Are you
television
in the
shows.
guild?
I am not in guild, however, I am in a union.
Okay.
And you've been on the Tyler Perry set out there too, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's
So
fire, man.
I
Y'all are
think I've
y'all are like
done.
the Black Hollywood now, right?
We are like the Black Hollywood. We are definitely Black Hollywood. So I think since 2022 was my first project up there at TPS. and I think I'm probably on my like 15th project. So it's been amazing. It's truly been a blessing for
You
me
know, it's
to, because that's what I wanted, moving out here, and I was very intentional about what I prayed for. Like I wanted to work on set. I wanted to work I wanted to work on set. That's all that I said. And then for my first set, it was live TV with it being NBA. And and it still is an amazing experience. I love going up there and being able to, chat and do my job, see my job in live time, see my
Yeah.
work, on TV.
yeah,
And, I get to go up here, do this, and then I might have to leave, and then I end up at a bar, and then I'm like, I just came from doing that. You know what I mean? Like that's that instant gratification, and it's amazing.
that's fire, man.
I'm not trying to count your money or blast your income, but for a barber looking out and saying, how much money they make behind the chair, which is satisfying to them, but not even knowing that there is so much more that they can be making out there if they find these opportunities, because some of them just see the limits of being a shop owner, being a barber,
Hmm.
maybe as far as being a platform artist, but doing what you do. We talked to DL. DL, he made a statement. He said, I got paid 13,000 for a 7-minute haircut. And people was like, ain't no way you got that. Da, 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 da. And he broke it down what it was, and like, dang, bro, we can't even think that big.
Hmm.
So it's like, what would be like somewhere in the range of maybe the biggest amount you made on a haircut?
I mean, it really depends because
Yeah.
one, I'm like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? What am I doing? What are we doing this for? If it's
Gotcha.
for a production, then you're charging the production company. So it's like
Mhm. That's
if
what
you're
he
charging a
said.
product, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like if you're
That's
charging a
what he
production
said.
company, yeah, it's like if
Yeah.
you're charging a production company, then for sure, like you can run that up, you can beef that up because
Yeah.
I could tell you this, like what 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 made me get my budget or get like my day rate together and say that is I kind of got burnt. I did a photo shoot for some products and stuff. And I'm not taking into account like these are photos that they could possibly use forever. And once that became, the thing, it was like, damn, now I'm seeing these photos, they still in circulation to this day. And I didn't make
Mm.
half as much, or I didn't make nothing close to what I should have and could have made. So I think that just with doing business, I think over time you end up learning because there's no rule book to this. Like
Yeah.
someone could sit here and be like, yeah, DL said he made 13,000, ain't no way. But then they get an opportunity to do something for Dove or something, and then they go in there trying to do what he's doing, and then they could talk themselves out of a bag. So
Hmm.
it's like you gotta know one who you working with, two, you gotta know the business aspect and the business side behind it. And then you also got to be flexible, you got to be reasonable, you got to have your hard nose. What is it that you won't do it for? What will you do it for? And
Yeah.
if you can't do it, are you willing to refer somebody else? And I think that a lot of times, a lot of people they're not trying to pass up on this, and now it's like, oh, I got it, don't worry about it, I can do it at the lowest of the low, and you don't have to do all that. So I think once you learn, like, what your worth is, then it's sky's the limit. But
Yeah.
DL's right though. I've gotten the $10,000 checks, and it, like I said, it just depends on
Depends
what it
on
is.
you
Yeah,
doing
it
the
depends on what
production
I'm doing
company or
and
the yeah.
Yeah. I
what we're
want to
doing it
talk.
for.
I want to
Go
be,
ahead,
before
man.
we want to
Go ahead.
we definitely. I'm hoping we get time to do a quick game with her, but
Yeah.
before that, I just have a comment, not a question. Um, I say this in my shop all the time. You never know who's sitting in your chair. And it doesn't mean that this could be a celebrity or this could be a wealthy person. It just may be a resource that you need for one of your kids or something, or your mom might
Mhm,
need something.
mhm,
People reach out to me and Tamil all the time, like, do you know somebody that does this or that? I had a client I ain't seen in years. He hits me while I'm in Arizona this weekend and asked me, do I know any acting coaches? You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So And then my last one, just right before I flew out, Wednesday, one of my barbers is getting ready to take in a guy, and I could tell he wasn't gonna do the thing that I love. I'm like, who are you? Where you from? What do you do? All that. And I went ahead and did it while he was draping him up. Come to find out, he's running for governor in California. And I announced it to the whole shop, and I reminded everybody, you never know who's sitting in your chair. Find out who it is. And so to me, I just wanted to share that perspective and that statement for barbers who may be watching this afterwards, because if you came into this late, go back and listen to her story on how those first connections even came about. You treated people right from the time they came in. You gave them the experience enough to make them go and refer other people. And look at the network you've grown, the net worth you've grown.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even with, just networking on set, that's turned into just lifelong, friendships, and that turned into other opportunities, you know what I mean? And that has taken me, far. And it's like you said, you just never know who it is that you're working with. But I think that overall is treating people with one, respect. You know what I mean? Respect is going to take you way further. I think that I just went and talked to a barber college, and the number one thing that, I had to tell them is everybody is a celebrity when they sit in this chair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
you
like that.
literally, you have to treat everybody with the same amount of respect. Like,
Yeah.
just because this person is on TV or this person, plays sports, doesn't make them more important than my other clients, because my clients are doctors and lawyers, and they do, you know what I mean, like, they saving lives too. They making differences out here in the world too. But I think that one thing that I was stressing, to the school was, how many people it is, like, in the world. It's so many people in the world. And no, because I'm only saying this to say this, like, I moved out here, I didn't have no barber cards. I didn't have no cards. And was just networking. Just, I'm moving off of, like, is this connection going to work? Because I never wanted to have somebody in my chair and be like, damn, here come David. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. You
Yep.
don't want that.
You want to enjoy who you're working with.
You got to enjoy who you're working with, and enjoy like who is sitting in this chair, understanding that this energy is transferable. Like, I want to be able to connect with my clients on such a deeper level. Now I have clients. You look at my page, you don't see no kids. I don't advertise that I cut kids. You go to my Booksy, it's no kid cuts.
Go to
My
your
clients
what?
are having kids now.
I heard
Go to your what? Go to your what?
You go to my Booksy. Look.
Go to your Booksy. Go to your Booksy.
Just saying.
No. But I don't even have like a price for kids. But now I'm in this position where I've been cutting I've been cutting people for years. Now they're having children. Now I'm cutting your kids. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love that. I love seeing that. I got a 5-pound bag of lollipops right here because I got one kid. Like, and now, I'm starting to get, like, I'm only taking my clients' children, and it's
their
like,
kids. Got you.
It's love, but still, you got to realize you're gonna grow, with people, and you want people to grow with you.
Yeah.
So you want to really lock in with good people. That's your network. Like, my clients are my network. Like, being on set, I'm treating these people on set, even if I got you for a month or got you for 2 weeks, you still my client, and I'm still gonna take care of you. So now that turns into, oh, hey, can you do this photo shoot? Hey, I want to bring you on this next project. Hey, what is it going to cost for me to fly you out and do this? And now that's when you start, tapping into a different type of clientele.
Let me ask you this. I think this is a question that we need to start asking people that is not in our area, because we started out as Sacramento Barbers Club trying to build a network of barbers to build a cohesive community of barbers that can have a bigger impact in our community. What is the barber culture like in Atlanta? I can tell you what it looks like from where I'm sitting. It looks amazing. It looks cohesive. You guys got a lot of barber events that go on. Marcus Harvey. He talked about how he needs to give a referral because he can't go take care of a celebrity. He sends it to other people to go do it. That kind of culture out there from a distance looks amazing. How is it being there firsthand?
I mean, firsthand, it is amazing. It's like something that I had never seen.
Mm.
Um, and truthfully, like other places need to get to this level because you realize like you can't cut everybody, you know what I mean? And when you're not available, who are you going to refer this person to? Because you have to refer them to somebody.
Yep.
And then a lot of times people be, so scared to, oh, I'm not going to refer them to the best so they can continue to come. No, I'm going to refer you to the best because
Yeah,
I need
yes,
I need
yes,
their service. No,
yes.
seriously, because I need you to still experience the same amount of customer service that I've been giving you. And it's not even about the
Amen.
haircut, it's about the service. And when I moved
Amen.
here, yeah, when I moved here,
Talk about
it,
stuff.
it was just up, man. Like I said, working with, Hawk, working with Tariq, Marcus coming through to the shop. Me pulling up on Brandy. Like Brandy didn't know me. I was just like, yeah, hey girl, like I just moved here and I'm just coming to, say
How did
what's
y'all
up.
meet? How did y'all meet?
No, that's literally how I just pulled up on her.
You
Like
just so you, but you seen her online already, and you was like, I'm about to go meet her.
yeah, but I didn't reach out and tell her like I'm about to pull
You
up
was
on
like,
you.
oh,
Like I
I
just
see where she at. I'm up.
Hey, I'm good for a pull up. Like if you know me, like okay, Lauren gonna pull up to the shop. Like didn't it?
Hey.
I pulled up to your shop. You wasn't even there. I had to pull up and be like, oh shit, Richie, this where you at? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm good for if I'm in town or if I'm close. If I got time, I'm
That's
pulling
dope.
up. I want. As a matter of fact, I think like 2 weeks ago. I tried to pull up on Hawk and he wasn't there. I was like, where are you at? Because I'm outside and you ain't here. He was like, damn, sis.
I hate I
And
missed you at
That's
yeah,
my
like
shop,
dope.
man. I hate I
I'm
missed you
not
at my
calling.
shop, but that's dope. P More is like
Yeah,
that. P More is
yeah,
like that. He'll
nah,
he'll
but
just pop up.
yep, I'm good for it. I will pop up on you, especially like your shop is local. If I know I can get an address, I'm popping up. So
That's
no,
dope.
so real talk, like it was literally just I can't even tell you what day it was. It was a random day. Another barber connected the dots because we was kind of cool. We was cool. And she was like, yeah, I got a homegirl out there, this is who you need to link up with. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just slide up on her. Like she was like, yeah, she ain't gonna trip. So I was like, all right, bet. And sure enough, I caught like the client outside waiting. I was like, oh, you waiting on her? Yeah, I'm waiting on her too. So when she pulled up, she was looking like, who are you?
Who
And
is
I
this?
was just like, oh, I'm Lauren the Legend. Like I just moved here. But
I like that. I like
but
that.
oh, girl told me she was like, I was like, I could come in. She was like, I mean, I guess, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was private.
I
So she
can
was
see
like,
her face though. I
yeah,
can
she was
see.
like,
For people that don't know, she got a private
man, when I
suite.
tell you, yeah, she was opening that door. She was like, what the fuck?
I,
Like, you know what I mean? And I swear, I was like, dang, my
the
bad, sis.
picture.
So it's funny because now that I don't know. Like I understand like the hesitance, especially in a private space, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a private space and you for sure can't pull up over here. Like it that could never happen. So I understand, and especially from the level of people will do that and then they'll try to just oh, let me come and pick your brain for nothing. You know what I mean? And not to say like for nothing, but just like not it being genuine. Like you just coming to take and you not coming to pour into. Like what are you
Amen.
really trying to build a genuine relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once she seen that, and I was just like, yeah, she was like, yeah, pull your RG up. And I was like, here. And she was like, oh, okay. So now she's all cool with it. And and now we got to really chat. And to be honest, from that day forward, like me and her been like this. So, we've been thick
I'm
as
gonna
thieves. And it's been, like I said, it's been awesome. So,
I'm gonna make a statement is that it's not who you know, but who knows you.
absolutely.
Because we wanted to interview Brandy, and Brandy was very reserved on letting us interview her, and it was you that
Hmm.
stamped it. And it's because of that we've been building an amazing relationship with her. So thank you.
Yeah. No, of course, man. Like, as a matter of fact, you know where I got the pull up game from? Y'all too, because wasn't it y'all that pulled up on me when y'all found out I was moving? There you go. So
Hey, we
they
really
came.
did. We really
They
did
was
pull up
like,
with a
"Hey,
clean up nice. I was like, man, I like her, T. I like her. And then she was
they,
like,
Yeah.
I'm
hey,
out. I'm
y'all,
moving. I was
hey,
like,
chat." They pulled up on me so cold. Was like, "Hey, man, like we mess with you. Like, hey, we want to give you this shirt. We heard you was moving. You know, we wish like we would have been able to build this community with you, and that just would have been so much more amazing. So that's why it makes sense that you guys have the barbers and the people that you guys have around you with having Paris and having Richie. And like I said, I went to school with Richie, me knowing Paris for as long as I know him. Like that makes sense that this is a part of your community. So I love what you guys are doing in SAC. I wish that could have been able to do something a lot sooner. And, you know, things happen for a reason. So, yeah, I'm glad that I could have, you know, connect the dots. I'm always
We're
trying
doing
to
it.
yeah,
connect
We're
the
not
I was
only
dots.
gonna
doing
say,
it in SAC.
I was gonna let you get it out, but I was gonna say, Lauren,
We doing it.
it's happening the way it's supposed to, because
Absolutely.
now we're all outside of our areas. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We're traveling, you're traveling, we're all networking with different brands and stuff. So we're actually able to be more resourceful to each other because of because we're not right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we came to Atlanta for Browner Brothers,
Yeah.
boom, it was
We
like,
called you.
yeah, we
Hung out with you a
hit
little
Lauren.
bit.
That's right.
We had the hair jam. You called us and cursed us out with Brandy on the phone. Jumped us on the phone. Was like, what the hell is going on? What?
Well, hey, man.
And it solidified everything. We
Oh
was like, oh,
yeah.
that'll never
Oh
happen
yeah.
again.
Never.
I'm like,
Never.
man, y'all call me, man. Like, y'all
Gotcha.
know I'm pulling up. So, yeah,
It was
man.
a good check. Sometimes you could get checked and it could be disrespectful, but sometimes you could get checked and it's like love. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she love us, man.
No,
We
it was
yeah.
definitely all love. And then the crazy part is like I had the time free, like I wasn't supposed to be doing nothing. And then I got the call to do a show and I was like, shit, now is that I done called him and went off. Like I gotta go. Like
God don't like
damn, I
ugly.
can't
Gotta
miss
let
You
you
know,
nothing.
like
be.
Like, you
ugly.
know what I mean? I was like, damn, like
Hey,
but no,
Lauren,
I was in the middle of doing a show, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
I still was like, nah, I got to make it happen because I put it out there, and now I can't just be going off on people and not showing up. So yeah, had to pull up, but it was
Yeah.
awesome though because you guys was able, like I said, that you guys threw something in Sacramento that I wasn't able to be a part of, you
mm,
know, and we wasn't doing that before I left. And the fact that I was able to pull up, but not only me able to pull up, but able to, you know, have my people pull up and them to be able to see like me in this light and in this industry, that meant so much. So I
Oh,
really do appreciate that. Even y'all calling everybody on stage and put me on the flyer and all the stuff like that. Like you have no idea. I think my uncle like called me the next day and was like, "I've never seen nothing like that."
oh
And to
man.
see
man.
like how much respect and how you know you move in the industry, he was like, that brought a tear to my eye. You know what I mean? And I
Oh
was like,
man.
"Damn, that's dope." You know, so just to hear that and hear you know him passing, like you know, I've been past the torch, but he was like, "I just never knew like." To me, you the dopest, you know, because you my niece. But he was like, to see that you dope to everybody else in this room is fire. And
He
I
got
was
to see
just,
you in the community. He got to see you
yeah,
in the industry
And
and outside of the chair, but still, you know, in
yeah,
barbering. That was
because
fire, man.
and notice it.
no one in my family has ever seen that. So
I
That's
was gonna
fire.
say, being the type of barber he was at that time, this kind of stuff I
yeah,
wouldn't think in the
he was
past.
barbering in like, I think he stopped in like '96. So
Yeah,
you know what I
so
mean? Like that's a
he
long
probably
time.
contemplating his career like I should probably get back in that barber.
Hey, I
There's
He
want to
some
told me
tell
money
you.
today,
in
he
it.
was like, man, I would have loved to keep cutting hair,
See,
but
and that's why I'm a real big advocate for stop putting limitations on who can do this.
Mhm.
I love I got a barber that got out at 40 and got in, and he's killing the game. I love
Mhm.
that I got a barber that got you know out of high school and start killing the game. I just think I just hate hearing limitations on it because I think you
Oh
can
yeah.
do whatever you want with it. But I do want to tell you this:
Mm.
we're closing out,
All right.
and it is hard to close out with you.
Gotta have you back. Definitely gotta have
Yes,
you back.
And of
but
course.
but we want to thank you because it's later where you are, And
Yes.
and you gonna give us your time on this Tuesday to like drop all this game. I want you to know this is not just about us chopping it up with you. It is dope though, because we know more about you now. You know a little more about us now. And that's how relationships grow, right? But I
Absolutely.
think I really want to salute you on opening up so much and sharing so much, because the people that you're going to impact that might watch this a year from now, 5 years from now, it's evergreen. So I just think you're so dope for opening up like that. It's like you said, getting on stage. It ain't easy to do that. So to
Yeah.
get on here and let some of Lauren out, I just salute you for it. And we know you busy as hell. So we know we ain't gonna get you back in like a few weeks, but hopefully you'll be down to come back again and we could dive into some more.
Of course, man. I had a trust me, it's truly been a pleasure. It's been an honor, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys sharing the platform with me and allowing me to, even tell the story and get it out there. So yeah, I would love to continue this conversation, whenever you guys got time. Of course, I'm always gonna make the time. So man, just hit me and I'm here.
Thank you, man. We love
Of
you. Much
course.
success to you, y'all. This is
Love
Lauren
you.
the Legend. And when we do
Thank
this,
you.
T,
Yeah.
when do we do
We
this?
do it
When?
every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody, we hope you guys have a prosperous rest of your week. And we'll
That's
see
right.
you guys next week.
Yes.
Peace.
For the culture, for the culture,
For the culture.
culture, culture.
For the culture.